Senate, one person can have a profound influence in the Senate. One person. That's one of the reasons that I'm running, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes is just too short of a time to tell you much about myself. I do hope that you will pick up one of my cards that are in the foyer. My website is on the back. There is detail after detail after detail on my website about my positions on various issues and about myself, including my precious wife, Lori, the rest of my family, our businesses, and things like that. I do hope that you will check that out. You will find many things on that website. I will tell you that I have a big burden on my heart, and that's what prompts me to be here tonight, a burden for my country. I'm very concerned about how far we have drifted off course in this nation, to the point that I felt like it's time that somebody, a common man, tries to do something. And so I will tell you that's why I'm here tonight, and I will also confess to you that I am sick and tired of career politicians, okay? And I'm also sick and tired of when I go to vote in the Republican primary, having to choose from among a slate of candidates that the elitists in our party have said, here you go, common people, we've already picked some people for you to choose from. Tonight with a man that's got specifics. You'll have to look at the website to get them, but I want to quickly tell you some things that I will not do. I will not take the elaborate health insurance plan that the Congress qualifies for. I will not sign up for the lavish pension. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I will serve only one 6-year term. I will go as a citizen legislator to work for the people of Texas, then come back to my day job and resume my normal life. Thank you.
And thanks for sponsoring this forum. My name is Tom Leppert, and I'm running because I think it's finally time that we looked at the challenges and the issues in front of our country in an honest and straightforward fashion. The reality of it is we look at our nation today, that we have an economy that's stagnant, and we are fast running down the road to financial ruin. Unfortunately, for too long, we've had individuals who are more concerned about getting elected the next cycle than they were thinking about what happens to our country and the legacy that we leave for the next generation. I am a great believer that we need to have people who have actually created jobs, signed both sides of a paycheck, and understand the challenges and the issues of families and businesses that are out there. I've had the privilege of creating thousands of jobs, and I can tell you that there was no political party in Washington that helped me or my team accomplish that. What we need to do is have an understanding of what makes America great. It's understanding that the private sector, the economy is generated by the private sector, and for too long we've had a government that's overspent, it's overregulated, and the effect has been to destroy jobs. I can tell you that my wife, Laura, and I have been married for 26 years. My sense of leadership is guided by my faith, and it's guided by the Constitution. I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-family. And I believe that the best years for our country are ahead. But they are only ahead if we are to make tough, difficult choices, to put political careers on the line, and view our decisions as being made for what's good for our nation, not for what's good for people who want to serve in the public sector for their life. That's why I'm here, and I'm ready to make those tough choices. Thank you very much.
Boy, it's good to be back in Houston. We just tell you it's good to be back here. And with King Street Patriots. Dean, thank you for organizing this. Catherine. Let me be very clear up front. As Dean said, I cannot be on the straw ballot. I formed an exploratory committee for the U.S. Senate seat. And if you're saying, well, Dan, why wouldn't you just announce? It's because all the good people up here, they all are good people, have had the opportunity for the last 5 months or so to do the work that I have to do in the next 4 or 6 weeks and decide if I want to be a candidate. The last 5 months I have been representing you, and I believe at the end of this special session, if we pass a few last bills that we have to get done, that the conservatives and Tea Party people can look back at this legislature and say that we did not all, but most of the things were requested. Most important is to balance a budget without raising taxes, cutting spending by $15 billion, passing photo voter ID, passing sonogram. The PSA bill I was working on until about 10 o'clock last night. And the reason I'm considering this opportunity is because, as Glenn said, I got into this game late. I wouldn't be in the Texas Senate if it weren't for most of the people in this room. I'm not a career politician. I would go to serve no more than 2 terms. That's if they elect me after the first one. Our country is on the brink of collapse. We need to send experienced people to Washington who know how to cut the budget. We cannot raise the debt ceiling. We cannot continue to spend $1.40 for every dollar we take in, soon to go to $1.80 and $1.90. We cannot pass a budget in Washington that Obama passed of $3.8 trillion, when we're collecting 2.2. We're running up the deficit every year, and we have to take the no-nonsense conservative view to Washington that some of us, I wish more of us, but some of us have taken to Austin. And so it's an honor to represent you. Don't put me on the straw ballot. That's a pleasure to be here tonight. And again, just thank everyone for allowing me to participate.
Thank you. I too am delighted to be here from the very blue part of Texas, Austin. Dan, I don't know what they can do without 2 Republicans. We need to get back there quick. It could be an emergency situation. I'm Elizabeth Ames-Jones, and I have had the great privilege to serve you as the chairman of the Texas Railroad Commission, the premier oil and gas energy regulatory body in the United States of America, for the premier oil and natural gas producing state in the country. It was Edmund Burke, the father of modern conservatism, who said all that it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. So I cannot sit by and do nothing. I feel a moral imperative, a very strong moral imperative, just like the Tea Party I had in my heart when I first ran for election to serve as part of San Antonio in the Texas legislature, when we too then had to cut a budget of $10 billion, had a tremendous shortfall that we closed without raising taxes. So I cannot sit by, I will not sit by and do nothing when our country is facing these grave challenges. But what I will do will cut. I will stop the borrowing, $3 billion every day from the Chinese and other countries who are enemies to us and to our children and to our grandchildren to pay back. I will stop the largest expansion of government since the New Deal, and that includes the unconstitutional Obamacare that forces mandates for people to buy insurance. I will stop the EPA from trying to overtake our jurisdiction, and we will cut spending, and we will cut, and we will cut, and that is how we will grow in this country. We will grow out of the problems that we have gotten ourselves into, and it has been Republicans and Democrats alike. There is enough blame to go around, and I am proud to say that I will go to Washington, D.C., and I will cut, I will stop, and together we will grow our exceptionalism back. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Dean. Is it on now? There we go. Thank you again, Dean, and all the team here at King Street Patriots. I am Lela Pittenger, and I am running for United States Senate. I was a Tea Party activist before I was a candidate, so please don't call me a politician yet. I love when people ask me, what kind of experience do you have? Because, in my opinion, I have no experience lying, cheating, stealing, or flip-flopping on the issues. So, if you're looking for experience on that, I'm not your girl. However, as someone with a background in alternative dispute resolution to do mediation, negotiation, and conflict management, which I think we need desperately in the Republican Party right now alone, let alone in Washington, I have a passion for serving my country and for serving my generation. Of all the candidates at this table, I believe I'm the one most heavily invested on whether or not they get this budget balanced and whether or not they actually cut spending. Even though you only have to be 30 to be a U.S. Senator, we will not have a single senator under the age of 40 in Washington, D.C. An entire generation without a voice in the U.S. Senate, which really is very concerning to me. So I love it when all of the guys on the table say that they've got to save this country for this generation that's coming. But as one of them, I'd like to say we'd like our own voice at the table. So I am running as a passionate conservative, a lifelong Texan, who has what I would call real life experiences. Real in the sense that everything you hear from me will come from me and my own work, my own life, and my own research and studies, not consultants. All right. I'm not paying people to tell me what to say or polish me up or tell me how to think. What you hear from me is coming from what I've learned and what I've studied and the people I've interacted with in my lifetime. Life in the sense that I'm living like the rest of you. My husband and I, we have a young son, and we live with my husband's grandmother and take care of her full time so she can age in her own home. We're taking on the tough because we don't think it's the government's business to take on our family. So I hope you'll take a listen to what we have to say tonight, and I look forward to visiting with you later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Ted Cruz, and I'm honored to be here with King Street Patriots. It's great to be back here. I had the great privilege of joining you all at the opening of this terrific facility. It was great to see this a packed crowd of patriots standing up fighting. The difference each of you is making is enormous. Each of you is here. Each of you is engaged in the Tea Party movement because you understand that liberty is under assault. You understand that our free market system is under assault. You understand that our Constitution is under assault. You understand that we have in Washington, D.C. right now the most radical president who has ever served in the White House. And this is a fundamental choice for our nation. It's a crossroads. Every one of you is a patriot because you take time away from your family. You stand up to fight to stop what's happening right now. In my opinion, the central question in this primary, the Republican primary for U.S. Senate, is one very simple question. Which candidate is best prepared to stand up and fight to stop the Obama agenda, to defend free market principles, and to defend the U.S. Constitution? I'm running on a very simple theme, a proven conservative record. Every candidate will have good rhetoric. I'm going to suggest to each of you to look to our record. Ask not what we say, but what have you done. I spent 5.5 years as the Solicitor General of Texas. During that time, we led the nation defending conservative principles. We defended the Ten Commandments before the Supreme Court, and we won. We defended the Pledge of Allegiance before the Supreme Court, and we won. We defended the Second Amendment before the Supreme Court, and we won. And we took on the World Court of the United Nations, defended U.S. sovereignty, and we won.